Listen to this story. Unbelievable story. This is Tona Rebbe heard this from the caterer. Tona Rebbe said over this Maisa. There was a Yid who emigrated from Europe after the war, decided after the Holocaust he's giving it all up. Went to Tel Aviv, went to Israel, led a totally secular lifestyle, Kamavan. As expected, raised a son, totally secular. He said, Bris Milah is barbaric. I'm not even going to give my son a bris milah. Even secular Jews in America give a son a bris milah. He was so anti-Yiddishkeit. My son's not getting a bris milah. That son, in turn, raised his son. And he didn't even give him a bris milah. Sends him to a secular school. When this kid's growing up, and one day, whenever somebody takes him to a class, here's this rabbi give a class, turns him on to Yiddishkeit, this boy, the grandson, and he's studying and learning and connecting with the rabbi. He decides, this is the MS. I got to go after this. Like when he got interested in Yiddishkeit, and he becomes firmer, leaves the public school, goes to yeshiva. He's a bright kid, becomes mama's top of the line. Meanwhile, along the way, of course, the rabbi told him about bris milah. He never had a bris milah. As a teenager, he got a bris milah. About he got a bris milah. And he goes on to yeshiva, and he's top of the line. Gets a great shidduch, and it comes the day of the chasana. Comes the leading up to the chasana. He's a stark yeshiva. But kept in touch with his father, somewhat estranged, of course. His father's anti, but he always kept open the line of communication. Comes right before the chasana, and he says to his father, says, Abba, says, I know the minhag is that the father walks the son down to the chuppah. And Abba, I still love you, and I want you to have the schus of walking me down to the chuppah. But only if you have a bris milah. You cannot walk me down to the chuppah in the holiest day of my life if you don't have a bris milah. He says, yeah, I don't hold the bris milah. He says, Abba, it's okay, you can still come to the wedding. You can't walk me down if you don't have a bris milah. Father's going back and forth. He says, you know what, for you, I want the schus of walking you down. This anti. He says, I'm going to get a bris milah. And he gets a bris milah. He's recovering from the pain, but the son sent him the rabbi, and the doctor, the surgeon, they did it. Comes, walks him down to the chuppah. The chasana is unbelievable. His mom is the Spali Tshuva, the rock in the place. The place is Lebedik, Sheba Lebedik. The caterer is so taken. This Lebedik about Tshuva chasana, he's never seen anything like it. The guys are going mamash mashugo. He says, someone who could produce a chasana like this in the silch and the ava that all the Yedidim had, goes over to the father towards the end of the chasana. He says, I got to tell you. He says, religious, not religious, you did something right by raising such a son. I am a caterer, and I have made many weddings. I have never seen a wedding like this in my life. I have to give you a gift. I have to give you something. Opens up his wallet, says, I have ties to Lubavitcher Rebbe. He says, this is the first dollar bill I ever got from the Lubavitcher Rebbe, and I'm giving it to you. And he gives him the dollar bill, and the father faints on the spot. They quickly call Hatzalah. They don't know what to do. The guy doesn't know what did he do. They call him Hatzalah. They get water there. They visit it. They finally rouse him. And they get him back. And he's there. So no. What's going on? Why'd you faint? He says, let me tell you a story. He says, I grew up totally secular. After the army, my friends and I, we went to the States. We went traveling all over the world. We got to New York. We went to see the sights, Statue of Liberty, Empire State Building. Once we were in New York, a bunch of people said, hey, these secular Israelis, you got to see Lubavitcher Rebbe, this rabbi from Lubavitch. He's a holy rabbi. You got to go to him Sunday. He gives out free dollar bills. You're going, I guess, we figured, we're not rushing anywhere. It's after the army, etc. We got all the time in the world. So we line up. We figured we'll get a blessing from the rabbi, whatever. It was the thing to do. So we're waiting online. After an hour, finally we get up to the turn. He says, my friend's got a dollar bill. He comes up to me. The rabbi takes a dollar bill and he puts a dollar bill in my hand. And then he takes it back. He says, Rabbi, why do you take it? He says, because you live in Israel and you're a Jew and you don't have a bris milah. I can't give $1 to a Jew in Israel who doesn't have a bris milah. But when you get a bris milah, I'm going to give you this dollar back. And on that day, on the son's wedding, he got a bris milah, walked the son down the chuppah, and this caterer handed him the dollar bill from the Lubavitcher Rebbe. And the guy fainted on the spot.
We almost fainted.
The Tona Rebbe heard it from the caterer himself.